Welcome back. Now we're going to be working on relieving headaches. Now our goal is going to be right up in here, the suboccipitals. So we're going to start in the upper back. Why? Well, there's no sense in relieving the issues up in here if you've got so much tension that it's going to set it off again another 4 hours. You might as well have taken an aspirin anyway. So we're going to work on 3 or 4 muscles in the upper back. We're going to work on the levator scapula, and we'll finish up with the suboccipitals. So first thing we're going to need is a workplace. Just pick a spot, about mid-back, lower back, somewhere in there. Pin it down with your fingers and undrape. There's your working space. We're going to be working on an area between the scapula, the shoulder blades, you know what that is, that's the wing, and the spine, both sides. So you're going to want to feel where that edge of the scapula is. Use your fingers, use your thumbs. If you're not sure, talk to your partner, she's right there. They'll be able to tell you if you're on the bone or not. You do not want to work on the bone. Here too, the spine. If you look, I'm not even using my fingertips on top of the spine. Just on either side. Just gently go back and forth, up and down, until you have a good idea where the spine is, where the scapula is. And from here to here, this is your work area. If you want, grab a little washcloth. Put it right on the edge there. Keep it as a barrier so you don't go over. Now the spine, right in the middle. Series of bumps. Do not run along these bumps with pressure. I'm not even doing it with my fingertips. I'm doing it on either side of the bumps. If you want to get an idea of how that'll feel, just take your knuckle, drive it right into the middle of your chest, right here. Ow. Anyway, you've got your area, you got your idea, you have your communication with your partner, so you pick a spot. I'm a little trouble with that there. So you pick a spot where your partner says it hurts. You put the base of your palm right in there and you rock. This probably will feel really goofy first couple times. People, when they give their first massage, when they haven't been given any guidance, they'll be using their thumbs, they'll be using their arms. And this only lasts for 15 minutes before you're going, I think I'm done, hon. Just move around back and forth in there. You're going to want to put your palm right in the middle of it. Just the bottom of it, right there. And then stack your hands. And just rock. Loosens up the tissue, it warms it up, breaks apart those muscle fibers that are causing that muscle to be tight. And right now we're targeting the spinatus and the longissimus, and to a certain extent, TRAPS 3. You keep checking in with your partner, you keep moving, take your time. So again, you feel where the issues are, you make sure you stay away from the bone, and you concentrate on those areas that it feels tight. I generally use like 3 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. And there's an ultra secret way to find out if you're using enough pressure. How's that feel?
Feels great.
There you go. If you're using too much pressure, they'll tell you. If they want you to use more pressure, they'll tell you. Once this area feels softer, or you've been working on it for, say, 20 minutes, and when I say this area, I mean both sides of the back, you're ready to move to the next section. You're going to be using the length. You find those areas again. You make sure that you know darn well where the edge of the bones are. That trough that you're going to be working within. And for Brenda, in Brenda's case, we're going to be using a hand cream of her choice. Now if you're using baby oil, like I showed you before, it's about a 50-50 proportion. Apply it to her whole back. And then you start doing the length of the muscle. Keep track of where those bones are. And here's your working area, again, specifically right here. You can apply most of your working area right here. In fact, you can even keep your thumb up if you want. You just keep working. It's relaxing. It stretches out the muscle fibers. You know, we were talking about before, about the bundles of noodles. This helps get rid of those. After you've done this for 15 minutes, say, here's a technique that I like to use. What you're going to want to do is, again, using these areas of your hand, your palm, you want to set them up in that trough. Make sure that you're within those bones. And you want to press and stretch the muscles. Moving apart the muscle fibers, you're keeping them nice and warm, and you're stretching them. This is incredibly effective. But you got to do the other stuff before you get to this. This is a technique you're probably going to see a lot when I'm working around the back. Again, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Just make sure that you get some time in here for this. And you'll be ready to work on the neck. Okay. Now the levator scapula. This is where it starts getting really interesting. The levator scapula, I'm more surprised when somebody comes to me and they don't have a problem with the levator. It's a very small muscle. It's about the size of your ring and little fingers combined. And it starts at the top of the scapula and it goes into your neck. So about where my fingers are. It's a very small muscle, like I said, and it passes under this very large muscle called TRAPS 1. So the only way to work on it is to work through the TRAPS one. Now I wanted to include this in at least this video series because it can be instrumental towards the problems that you're having. What you're going to want to do is find the top of the scapula and find the edge of the scapula. This muscle hikes the shoulders up. It elevates the scapula, hence the name levator scapula. And since that's what the vast majority of people do when they get stressed out, it has a tendency to absorb stress like a sponge. So once you've got where it is, you're going to be doing a movement with your hand, kind of like this. You want to take the edge of your hand, you're going to be working that shoulder, applying pressure in 3 different directions: underside, right on, and down. So you find where that corner is. And you work it like that. You don't want to work on the bone, just off of it. And the vast majority of the time, your partner is going to feel like $1,000,000. Right?
$1 million plus.
There we go. You can even do this from a different position. If your partner is lying on the ground and you haven't got the leverage to do it like that, you can reach across their back and use your fingertips and your body weight. And your partner will be able to zero in on exactly where the problem is. And if you'll notice, no thumbs. You'll see it in the movies all the time. People are using their thumbs when they say that they're giving somebody a massage, or they say they're a masseuse. Doing it this way, 15 minutes. Doing it this way, you can help your partner out for an hour if they need it. You'll also find that if somebody has a tight levator, it can cause issues all over the body, practically. I've worked on people that have had wrist problems, elbow problems, shoulder problems, pain going down to mid-back, eye pain, ear pain, tooth pain, general jaw pain. There's more. All because there's tensions in the levator and it's causing issues all over the torso. So this is a very important muscle to spend some time on. Okay. Now for this next section, Brenda needs to turn over. And so this is an excellent chance for me to show you how to help your partner turn over. It doesn't matter if the person on the table has been your life partner, your spouse, somebody that you've known all of your life. The whole point of this exercise is to be professional about what you're doing, to make them feel comfortable, and so as to not distract you. So what you're going to do is, I'm going to show you in just a second, but first I'll explain. You're going to press your legs up against the sheet. You're going to reach across and hold up the sheet, giving them a little bit of space for them to turn and not catch themselves up in the sheets as they go. So I'll show you how that goes. All you do is you trap the sheet between your legs and the table, And then you just reach across. Okay, go ahead. Okay. Adjust the sheet and you're done. Alright, this part of the levator can be very tender. So that's why I had your partner turn over, so you have better access to it, so you can actually see what you're doing. And it's just a better position for you. Now the muscle you're going to be working on, you already worked on it back here, but it's coming up the neck and just below the middle line. And while we're here, see this? This vein right here? Don't rub it. If it has a pulse, don't try to work on it. That's a perfect rule of thumb for the entire time. Now what you're going to want to do to get that levator to stick up, you're going to cup your partner's head in both your hands, move their head towards that shoulder so you have more control on it with the hand that's on the same side, and then move it towards the opposite side. That way you have a good position, you have full access to the neck, and you can move their head with just one hand as much as you need. And the levator is going to stick right up. You can see it disappear down into here and come right up into the neck. Now, I can't mention this enough. This area can be very tender. So you have to communicate with your partner all the time. How does this feel? How does this feel? How does this feel? You're going to use just your fingertips. Apply just a little bit of pressure. How does that feel?
That feels right.
Feels right? Do you want a little bit more pressure?
That's good pressure.
That's good pressure? There, that's perfect. That's exactly what we need to know. You don't press it, it's not going to go away faster if you press it harder. You're giving your partner a nice little stretch here. And you're encouraging the muscle to relax and settle down. Work all the way down the length of the muscle. Communicating with them the whole time. Every time you change position with your hands, how does that feel? Is that too much? Let me know if it's too much. If they cringe, stop what you're doing. You can work the length of the muscle, and you can work in little circles. And I know I'm already sounding like a broken record right here, but this can be very tender. So you do not want to push hard. You do not want to go fast. Minutes, 15 minutes. If it's effective, 20 minutes. Take your time. Like I said before, the levator can be the cotter pin to all kinds of issues. And a lot of times, relieving this muscle can relieve the whole problem.